Hello students, I hope all of you are fine. Today I am here to discuss Chapter 4, Assertive Nationalist. The following topics which I will cover today: their beliefs, their ultimate objective, methods of struggle, and then at the end I will discuss about the outstanding leaders of the Assertive Nationalist, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal and Lala Lajpat Rai. By the end of the 19th century, many of the Congress leaders, they were disappointed with the techniques and ideologies of the congressmen. And thus, they believed that there should be an aggressive method to be applied against the British government. And thus, this new class of congressmen came to be known as the Assertive Nationalist. The Assertive Nationalist, they advocated Swaraj, Swadeshi and boycott. Thus, the rise of this assertive nationalist marked a new phase in the freedom struggle of the Indian national movement. The assertive nationalists, they had no faith in the British sense of justice. They highlighted that how by deceit the British had conquered India. The assertive nationalists, they severely criticized the methods adopted by the moderates, the 3 Ps, prayer, petition and pleas. They were able to instill confidence and self-reliance among the Indians by boycott of the foreign goods and the promotion of Swadeshi, which led to the establishment of Indian handicrafts and cottage industries. The ultimate objective of the assertive nationalist, that was absolute autonomy or attainment of Swaraj. And Tilak, through his newspaper Kesari, had called upon the people to be selfless, to be unafraid, and to be confident. The assertive nationalist, their programs and methods. Revivalism. Tilak revived the Shivaji festival in order to arouse nationalistic feeling among the people of India. Swadeshi and boycott. The assertive nationalists, they had suggested the boycott as an effective tool to put pressure on the British government. They had asked the people to boycott all forms of life, boycott of their clothes, goods, education, offices and other institutions. And the technique also included emphasis on Swadeshi, that is, adapting everything indigenous. And the leaders are being called upon to boycott Western education and instead emphasized on imparting national education. During the Swadeshi movement, emphasis was on the national education, and which consisted of secular education, political education, religious or moral education, and vocational or industrial education. Achievements of the assertive nationalist. The assertive nationalists, they played a very important role in the freedom movement of India. They instilled self-reliance and self-confidence among the people. The movement, which was confined to small numbers earlier, became a mass movement under their inspiring leadership. They brought the lower middle class, the students, the women to the forefront of the national struggle. The movement aroused national sentiments and united the whole nation in the struggle for freedom. Swadeshi movement gave a positive impetus to the growth of Indian industries, and they revived the Shakti cult, and which drove many young men to the path of revolution. So students now have a look at the difference between the assertive nationalist and the moderates. The moderates, their basic belief: the moderates had an unlimited faith in the British Raj, whereas the assertives had a great dislike for the British. The moderates, they always glorified the European ideals and attitude, whereas the assertives, they highlighted the supremacy of the Indian culture and traditions. The ultimate objective of the moderates. They talked of Swaraj, that is a system of government which is found in the self-governing British colonies, whereas the assertive nationalists, they demanded Purna Swaraj or absolute Swaraj. The method of struggle by the moderates. They carried their work by means of petition, prayers, resolution, meetings, and deputations. Whereas the assertive nationalists, they believed in boycott and Swadeshi.
Outstanding leaders of the assertive nationalism. The most outstanding among the leaders of the assertive nationalism were Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal, and Lala Lajpat Rai. Tilak was born in 1856 in Ratnagiri, Maharashtra. He was a brilliant student and very good in mathematics. After completing his school education at Anglo Vernacular School in Pune, he joined the Deccan College. In 1877, he graduated in mathematics. He continued his studies and got the LLB degree. After completing his studies, Tilak began teaching mathematics in private school in Pune. Tilak started the newspapers Kesari and Maratha, and both these newspapers became very popular. In his newspapers, Tilak highlighted the sufferings of Indians under the British rule. He called every Indian to fight for his right. It was through the celebrations of Ganesh and Shivaji festivals he organized the people of Maharashtra. He is known for organizing akharas and lati clubs in Maharashtra to make the youths brave to defy the British Raj. Tilak joined the Congress in 1890. He was critical of the moderate attitude, especially towards the fight for self-government. When plague spread in Maharashtra province in 1897, the assistant collector of Pune, Mr. Rand, and his associates, they used extreme and brutal measures to stop the disease. Tilak took up the people's cause by publishing articles in his newspaper. Tilak was charged and was sentenced to 18 months and imprisonment. By that time, he had become the national hero, and following his release from the prison, he adopted the slogan of Swaraj. Tilak was released from jail in 1914, and after his release, he tried to bring the two sections of the Congress together. In 1916, Tilak decided to build a separate organization called the Home Rule League with an object to attain Swaraj, and travelling from village to village, he explained the aim of his league to the people, and thus he played a crucial role in making the people aware of their right for self-rule and organized them for the future course of freedom struggle. Partition of Bengal gave Tilak a big opportunity to expose the evil designs of the government. Leaders like Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal, and Lala Lajpat Rai, they transformed the anti-partition movement into a movement for Swaraj. Tilak organized boycott movement in Pune and Bombay, and he stressed boycott, Swadeshi, and national education that would help in attaining Swaraj. Mahatma Gandhi regarded Gokhale as his political guru, but his ideals were molded by Tilak's thoughts in a big way. Gandhi laid stress on prohibition, Swadeshi, and boycott. All these had been preached and practiced by Tilak much before Gandhi did so. Gandhi's ideal of complete independence was similar to Tilak's idea of Swaraj. Lala Lajpat Rai was born in the Ludhiana district of Punjab. Lala Lajpat Rai took a degree in law and started his law practice at Hisar and later shifted to Lahore. In 1892, he gradually established himself as one of the foremost lawyers of Punjab. Lala Lajpat Rai was closely associated with Arya Samaj movement. He was greatly instrumental in the expansion of DAV College at Lahore, which had been founded on 1st June 1886. He wrote biographies on Mazzini, Galibardi, Swami Dayananda, and Pandit Gurudatta. His publications include The Call to Young India, England's Depth to India, and the Political Future of India. His activities abroad. In 1914, Lajpat Rai went to England as a member of Congress delegation, and from there he proceeded to America. And in America, he joined the Ghadar Party. He gave many lectures on India and wrote a number of books such as the Arya Samaj, England's Debt to India, and Young India. And during his stay abroad, he could win many people over the cause of Indian nationalism and freedom struggle. In 1905, Lajpat Rai along with Gokhale went to England to persuade the British leaders not to give effect to the scheme of partition of Bengal. In 1907, Lajpat Rai and Sardar Ajit Singh was convicted for seditious speeches and they were deported to Mandalay and kept in prison for 6 months. Lajpat Rai wanted a bolder action including civil disobedience movement. Yet he supported Gandhiji's proposal and spread the message of non-cooperation throughout India. The suspension of the non-cooperation movement in 1922 disappointed Lala Lajpat Rai. He formed his own party, Swaraj Party, to contest elections to the legislative councils in 1923. Lajpat Rai was elected to the Central Legislative Assembly and in 1925 he became the deputy leader of the party. In 1928, while leading the demonstration against the Simon Commission in Lahore, Lajpat Rai was assaulted by a British sergeant. He sustained the injuries from which he could not recover. He died on 17th November 1928, and the news of his death was a signal for mourning in almost every household. Lajpat Rai was a born fighter. He had a genuine love for the masses and the suffering people. Perhaps he was the first Indian to have written about the problems of socialism and labor organization. His knowledge of Indian politics, Indian society, and Indian economy was remarkable indeed. Bipin Chandra Pal was born in 1858 in Sylhet and did his schooling in Sylhet Government High School. After the school, he took admission in Presidency College but gave up his studies before graduating. He was a brilliant student and had studied the Gita and Upanishads extensively. Bipin Chandra Pal started his career as a headmaster of high school in 1879. He also worked as a librarian and became the secretary of the Calcutta Public Library. Once he joined the national movement, he inspired his audience with his oratory. Surendranath Banerjee inspired and encouraged Bipin Chandra Pal to join active politics. Very soon he got influenced by the ideas of Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai, Aurobindo Ghosh, and became one of the most important assertive nationalists. He started a weekly journal, New India, and preached the ideals of Swaraj. He took up the cause of the Assam tea garden labourers who were cruelly treated by the planters. Bipin Chandra Pal actively participated in the Swadeshi movement, which started after the partition of Bengal in 1905. He started a daily paper, the Bande Mataram, and became its chief editor. He was imprisoned for 6 months in 1907 when he refused to give evidence against Aurobindo Ghosh. After his release in 1908, Bipin Chandra Pal took a break from active politics and went to England, and there he stayed for 3 years. In 1911, he came back to India and became actively involved in the freedom struggle. However, he was very critical of Gandhi's idea of associating the non-cooperation movement with the Khilafat movement. His ideas on national education. Bipin Chandra Pal, he believed education as an effective instrument of social progress. He believed that it is the key which opens the great treasures of Indian philosophy and culture to the Indians. His ideas on economic matters. Bipin Chandra Pal was a writer of great fame. His publications include The Spirit of Indian Nationalism and The New Economic Menace to India. Bipin Chandra Pal, he proposed these remedies to eradicate India's poverty. Firstly, to develop a lot of industries in the country. Secondly, to tax the rich more heavily than the poor. Third, 48 hours of work in a week and increase in the wages. Fourthly, the practice of Swadeshi and boycott. Bipin Chandra wanted Swadeshi and boycott to become the means of national freedom. Bipin Chandra died in 1932 and Sri Aurobindo referred to him as one of the mightiest prophets of nationalism.
So students, this was all for today. Try to answer these questions. Thank you and take care of yourself.